It's time to talk about new offensive coordinators since Alex Van Pelt was fired just moments after the head coach, Jerod Mayo, both after their first years. Definitely take this video with a grain of salt because it does depend on who's going to be the head coach for the New England Patriots, and maybe if they do decide to bring in their own OC, if they're coming from a current team, or if they just want a specific guy in their mind. So before we do break down the latest on the possible offensive coordinator candidates, I want you guys to do one thing for me and hit that sub button. We did reach 20,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for everybody that has helped this channel grow, but we are now on the journey to reach 21,000. So go on ahead, hit that sub button for me because believe me, this is going to be an off season unlike any other, and I want you guys to be a part of it. Speaking of an off season unlike any other, let's pretend, all right? Pretend the Patriots hired Mike Vrabel as their head coach. What offensive coordinator would come with them? Who would they hire to fit the mold as a Vrabel defensive-minded head coach? Because Jerod Mayo was a defensive-minded head coach. Well, reports are showing that there are two likely offensive coordinator candidates that would follow Mike Vrabel after he was allegedly hired by the New England Patriots. And I do think Patriots fans are going to be excited about one of the two candidates. And I think you guys already kind of know where I'm hinting at here, but there are a couple of candidates, but two stick out to me. Number one, Tommy Rees, the Browns tight end and currently the passing strategist coach, and then former Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. That is the one that is probably going to get the attention of most Patriots fans. Why? Because he was the former Patriots offensive coordinator. They know what Josh McDaniels can offer the New England Patriots as an OC. They've watched it happen over the course of the dynasty and helped them get 3 Super Bowls. But these are just hypotheticals. And recent reports like Albert Breer and insiders are saying, keep an eye on these two guys if Mike Vrabel does get hired. So we're going to break down what that would look like and which one we would rather have here on the Patriots as the offensive coordinator. Before I do that, I want you guys to tell me, which OC do you want? It could be Tommy, it could be Josh, it could be numerous other offensive coordinators out there that are currently looking for a new home and could possibly make New England their new home. You guys are about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, so go on ahead and let me know in the comment section down below which offensive coordinator that you want. And don't worry, I'll be here to discuss more about my thoughts in just a moment. Obviously, the Patriots need help, whether it's Josh McDaniels, Tommy Rees, or whoever. This was an awful year for New England in terms of offensive production, which is saying a lot because you had a top 3 NFL quarterback coming out of the draft with the 3rd pick in Drake Maye. Well, they stunk when it came to scoring. 17 points per game is what they averaged, which is 30th in the NFL. Yards per game was actually worse despite Drake Maye having a cannon of an arm. He didn't really have any top targets. 292 yards per game, which is 31st in the NFL. Third down rate, 29th. Red zone offense, we couldn't even score half of the time we got into the red zone. That's 30th in the NFL, and don't even get me started on the turnovers. Good night alive. 22nd in the NFL. So, when you're looking at it like that, let's go ahead and break down the first candidate, Tommy Rees, the former offensive coordinator for Alabama and Notre Dame. So we got a little bit of a college guy in here with us. Hasn't been an OC in the NFL just yet, but he is working with Vrabel as Mike Vrabel was the senior consultant, I believe, for the Cleveland Browns this last year. So that is how he got to know Tommy. But reports are saying that he is a rising star in the NFL ranks. So I'm going to take that as he could be a really good offensive coordinator in the NFL, just hasn't gotten that shot just yet. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, great, another first-time offensive coordinator in the NFL. How is that going to go? And I do hear your thoughts, and I do agree that possibly going with a guy like Tommy, who is unfamiliar with the Patriot system, it could get a little bit daunting. But when you do end up looking about how this could play out for a guy that already knows who Mike Vrabel is, and if you were to hire him with a possibility of hiring Mike Vrabel, it could have a really good outcome. And when you do look at a guy that's coming from two very good college programs, I know it's not the NFL, but Adam Schefter also did tweet out that there were talks between Bill Belichick and North Carolina broken down. Browns passing game specialist and tight ends coach Tommy Rees was considered the favorite to land the Tar Heels head coaching job per league sources, which he did interview for the North Carolina head coaching job twice and had Nick Saban as an advocate. Obviously, you guys know who Nick Saban is. He is the legend of college football coaches, especially in my generation. But the fact that he was going head-to-head with Bill Belichick, and we know personally how great Bill Belichick is, Tommy's got to be a pretty damn good candidate to go compete with Bill Belichick for the head coaching job of North Carolina. That's a pretty high pedestal to be put on. So whether or not he has been an offensive coordinator in the NFL just yet, if you are being considered for the same job as Bill Belichick and you have a high recommendation from Nick Saban, I know right now if any of you had Nick Saban as your person of contact on your resume, you would literally shit yourself. But we do have to talk about what he did as the tight ends coach and as the passing game specialist. Now, he is not the offensive coordinator for the Browns, so take this with a grain of salt. But in terms of passing yards, yeah, all right, it wasn't the sexiest, I'll be honest, in the NFL ranks. 300 yards per game, 28th, 22nd passing yards per game, and 32nd in yards per passing attempt. So, yes, the Browns offense also hasn't had the best year in the NFL, but they were also fluctuating with quarterbacks like none other. And, they definitely had their ups and downs so far this season. And they do currently have the second pick in the NFL draft. So I understand that not being the OC, it does come with a little bit of a hesitation there. But would you want Tommy Rees as the Patriots offensive coordinator? Go on ahead and type Y for yes, type N for no with the information that I just handed you. And I do expect more information to come out as this search does continue for the Patriots offensive coordinator. Before I do jump into Josh McDaniels and just kind of, freshen up your memory on Josh, I want to go ahead and tell you guys about our sponsor here, and that is Game Time. If you guys are looking to get tickets to any sporting event, concert, comedy show, or maybe even the theater, may I suggest using Game Time. Why? Because it is my favorite place to get tickets whenever I'm going to an event that requires ticket upon entry. The number one reason why I love Game Time is because your girl is cheap. I like saving $1 or $2. And I know that when I use Game Time, I am getting the lowest price guaranteed. And I'm also a bit of a gift giver myself. And I do love quality time with my friends and my family. And I think that sports just really helps bring us together. So if you guys want to go see the Celtics or the Red Sox or the Bruins or the Patriots play this year, go on ahead, get yourself a ticket, get your friends a ticket, save some money with the lowest price guaranteed, and you guys are going to get a 3D view of your seat before you buy. That is one of my favorite parts because the last thing I want is to spend my well-earned hard money and sit near the men's restroom or take a first date or whatnot. Even though I'm not going to be buying the first date. Gosh, I'm a lady. You get the point. Is that you want to be able to show off and show great seats to your friends, to your family when you guys do end up going to the game. So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started, just download the Game Time app. Use promo code ChatSports. That'll get you $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. Again, go on ahead, download the Game Time app, use promo code ChatSports. This will get you $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms do apply. What time is it? It is game time. Let's talk about our boy Josh McDaniels, former offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Well, he was the Patriots personnel off and on from 2001 to 2021. He was fired from the head coaching job as the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023, but he is a Super Bowl champion, and it is one of those things of, is it the chicken or the egg? Is Josh McDaniels a really good offensive coordinator, or is Tom Brady a really good quarterback? I think they kind of go hand in hand. I think that's what made both of them successful during his time in New England. And then when you do talk about his time during New England, and when I think of Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, I think of one other player, and that's going to be Gronk. And what Gronk had to say about possibly reuniting Josh McDaniels and the Patriots, obviously, Mr. Kraft has a plan as well going forward. Probably hoping to get Mike Vrabel there's some rumbling out there that Josh McDaniels may come back as well as the offensive coordinator. So Gronk is even hinting at bringing these two players back together at the same time in New England. You're probably thinking, Allie, same time? Oh, yeah. These guys are both 49 years old. They both started with New England in 2001. Mike Vrabel was a player. Josh McDaniels was the personal assistant. Then in 2003, Mike Vrabel, still a player. But that is when they finally got to work together in 2003 because Josh McDaniels became the defensive assistant. So he probably got to work a little bit more with Vrabel when he wasn't running as tight end for Bill Belichick. Then in 2005, that was a little bit less time with Mike Vrabel because he was the quarterback coach. And then in 2008, he was the OC and quarterback coach, which, of course, was Vrabel's last year with the Patriots. So definitely got to work with Mike Vrabel when he was running tight end for Bill Belichick. So they definitely have worked together as player and as coach. But now, what about coach and coach? That is something we have not seen just yet from these two. But I do know that when you are looking at an offensive coordinator come in with your new head coach, there is a bit of a worry of, well, look at Ben Johnson. He's a great offensive coordinator for the Lions, and now he's looking for a head coaching job. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Old McDaniels. We saw how that played out. It wasn't the best. So when you bring in an offensive coordinator like a Josh McDaniels, you can hopefully think of tenure. You can hopefully start to really create a dynasty again with your Patriots Hall of Fame Mike Vrabel, and an offensive coordinator that has already gone down the head coaching route and turned it back around. So I think that that's another aspect you do have to look at. And with Josh McDaniels' success with a good quarterback being a.k.a. Tom Brady, he is more than likely going to have success with Drake Maye, a.k.a. another good quarterback. I think Josh McDaniels would be an innovative play caller for Drake Maye. I think that he would really showcase his skills both on the ground and through the air. I know it's been a while since we've seen him perform as an offensive coordinator, but I don't think he's lost too much of his touch. And I know he's been watching Drake Maye in the preseason, in the regular season, I'm sure, and that's what leads me to believe that he would be the right man for this job. But I do like him and Mike Vrabel together. Now, if you're going to bring in a different head coach, maybe a Ben Johnson, and now you're working with an offensive coordinator and an offensive-minded head coach, that's a different video. But a defensive-minded head coach in Mike Vrabel paired up with an offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, it makes sense to me. And I really do like that move. So, what say you? Do you guys want to possibly bring Josh McDaniels back to the New England Patriots, and this time bringing him back with an old familiar friend in Mike Vrabel? Answer me this. Would Vrabel and McDaniels be a good duo? We've seen them as player and coach. How about player and player? Type G for good, type B for bad, and let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think, hey, Robert Kraft, call off your search. We already found our offensive coordinator, and we want it to be Josh McDaniels. As always, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me. I promise this is an off season you guys are going to want to be a part of, and I got everything you need to be in the know.